All right, but so you're totally on spot on with the whole manipulation thing. Since I've been in this market, I've learned more and more of their tactics. And if you saw in the group chat what I had sent, essentially like they will cause the sell-offs and then put in you know a sell, short the market pretty much while they're causing that sell-off, and they'll make money on the way down just to go ahead and buy at levels that they're ready to buy at. It's fucking brilliant.
Exactly.
I mean, I would do it if I had the ability to. It's
Yeah.
morally wrong, and technically, that's what the fuck the SEC and all these different organizational bodies are supposed to protect against. And why they keep saying, Bitcoin's manipulated and all that. Like the shit is evident in every market. It's the same big players, the same big money that making strategic moves with that money. So if they know that, hey, most people watch Wells, right?
Yeah.
And one tactic they do, like on the crypto side, even in stocks, because there's several sites that will publicly put what big whales are buying and shit like that. So
Unusual Wells is the best drawing. They getting sidebar. Sorry for interrupting.
now you
They're
good.
getting a
Actually, I'm
lot
about
of
to look that up
variety.
right now. Unusual
Oh, yeah,
whale, you
yeah.
said?
Unusual Wells. Yeah, I'm invested in them. I'm subscribed for them like a month, $40 a month to see like the flow play, the big flow on options,
Exactly.
the
Okay. Yep.
premiums,
Yep. So I use
and they get
something similar. Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
no. And I was just saying like they're putting Nancy Pelosi and them out there like they're trying to get the government like to stop investing in stocks. Like if you work in the government, you can't invest in the stock market.
Like that should be some
That's,
insider shit. Like, like that's definitely
Yeah,
yeah,
but
that's what they doing.
if they do that though, it won't be a stock market, right?
Yeah.
Because they're like the biggest investors.
I mean, well, would that include, are you talking just individual like government employees, which that would cover a lot of people? And then are you talking just like, well, bankers and shit, right? Like, no, that they manage a lot of fucking money, just like
I
how
think that
Eugene said, like, yeah.
yeah, I think that like the senators and governors and presidents and shit like that, like they're behind, the smart money as well as the banks. So if they stop them
Well,
from
I would
investing, like
I would say they're in cahoots with them, but not necessarily behind them like they're the ones making the plays, because that comes from the
right,
Fed, right? The Fed
right,
is the one in the background making the plays for sure. They're just the politicians are there to basically push the right agendas. So the Fed and the other one percenters, well, not even 1%, the 0.001%, because it's the 1% of the 1% that actually run shit. So they're literally just that forward facing person that we see that has some type of influence that of course we the people give them, um, and they are in charge of making laws and doing different things that benefit that 1% of the 1%. So at the end of the day, like if they, let's say, okay, all senators and congressmen, whatever, they can't invest in the stock market, that won't change nothing, because at the end of the day, all a company have to do is, I mean, there's other means of getting in a politician's back pocket, right? Getting a politician in your pocket. You don't necessarily have to give them stocks, but they could still put out legislation that influences or benefits a particular party, a company, etc. And all they got to do is get paid out for it. And so I don't see that really changing much of anything. And plus, the majority of those money is coming from like hedge funds and different banks and stuff. So they're not in that politician quote unquote category, and they're the ones that are really causing these. The politicians are simply there as quote unquote a puppet to push the agenda, and be that forward-facing personality for us to deal with and blame. Like, you know, the whole concept of the richest man on the earth and the Forbes list and shit like that, it's all an illusion. It's all a fad. Like, you really think Jeff Bezos is Elon is the richest person in the world? Like, did y'all forget about all the Saudis that own everything over there? Like, it's one of those things where it's like the real rich people don't want to be on no list or anything, because then you have someone to blame. Dogecoin crashes to 10 cents. Everyone want to blame Elon. You see what I mean? Like, Elon didn't tell you to fucking invest in that. And so it's a couple different things, but with the manipulation aspect of it, it's all a game because money doesn't exist. So they're playing the game of the algorithm, the influence that they have, or the large pile of worthless cash that they are throwing in these markets and playing around with people's livelihoods. That's what the fuck they're doing.
I think though, making it public, making what they do, honestly, making what they do public.
Right, there you go. That's the key word.
Yeah, like, because I know sometimes they'll put out there like they invested in something, or they'll have on some list that they invested in the stock or something, and they ain't really. I would do the opposite.
No, for sure. No, you're
You know,
spot on that. So like, I remember when I first got into crypto, there was a video that was like, if you literally bought Bitcoin or did the complete opposite of what Bloomberg would tell you for Bitcoin, you would be up. Like, you would have no downside, period. Like, to the day. Like, if you were watching today and they were like, buy Bitcoin, sell that motherfucker. If they told you to sell Bitcoin, you buy that
That's how
motherfucker.
they treat that's how they treat Jim Cramer, and it works out every time.
Yep,
Every time.
yeah. I think that was him. Is he on Fox or the Bloomberg Finance thing?
Something he does like Mad Money, but every
Yeah,
time
okay,
he
yeah,
talks
it's the
about
mad
something,
money shit. Yep. Every time he talks about something, it goes the opposite way. And
like,
for
that's why
those,
he's getting paid for that. You think he's
that's
not
what I'm
buying clicks?
saying. That's
He
what I
doesn't
was
know
just
that.
about to say. Like, that's what I was just about to say. Like, those that are in the know, or him himself, he's not a complete fucking idiot. He's making his money. And
yeah.
and that's why I'm like, that's so fucked up, because the SEC and all these other people are supposed to protect against that. And now on the surface, it's very hard to kind of, prove that unless you have hard evidence that, oh, he's getting paid to actually do XYZ. Like, how it's being seen is that it's sort of like an educational type of programming, or it's not financial advice, XYZ. Like, people, at the end of the day, the people get to make their own decisions, but they're being influenced by someone who's on fucking TV telling them XYZ. Like, so how's that different from like a YouTuber doing the same?
Well,
And
I think the thing is, like, they put out there the free stuff is not the real stuff. Like, they want you to, like, join their newsletter and pay for it. You know what I'm saying? And then
yeah.
if you pay for it, then you're probably getting the real
And
deal, what they really investing in.
so well, I won't speak for all of them, but I did do a couple of them in the beginning of my journey. One of them was really good. This guy named Altucher. I subscribed to his subscription letter, and every month, big ass packet full of information showed up at my door. And it was on crypto, stocks, options, everything. And he breaks down everything, XYZ. So yeah, like, he there will be a level of a paywall per se, but those the personalities that are on TV, they don't have a course or whatever or thing like that that they're pushing. At least
Well,
the
Mad Money
Mad.
does. Mad Money has a newsletter.
So yeah,
They try.
I was just about to say, like, at least for the Mad Money one, I know Mad Money has their platform, or like the other one, Motley and shit like that. None of them shits fucking work because I've tried them all. Like, it gives you more vague analysis that still have to decipher, and it's not like it's winning plays 100% of the time, because that's not possible, But it's even to the point where some of the stuff that they were suggesting was pure crap. But it is to entice you to go get that membership for sure. Because I got caught in that in the beginning, just to realize. I mean, I was in my learning phase anyway, still am, but nonetheless, like I've learned not to trust their shit because they have their own agenda on the back end. But anyway, the manipulation is crazy. We like,
It's definitely
yeah. This is just Ethereum that we're looking at the moment, and you know these damn markings, these levels are all that I do on here, and I just let them rock. And you can see how literally we bounce between levels every single time. So everyone's saying, "Hey, the bottom's in." Da da da. Da. I'm like, well, not quite yet. I want to see how we react off of this, between 27 to 28 hundred level. If we get rejected here, similar to here, we're going down. We might touch 18, right? But I do have I've had pending buy orders in all these levels, so things are getting filled in as prices falling. But I'm also going to put in my big buys, at lower levels. If it touches it, great. If not, I still got my money, type of thing. So I'm waiting. Yes, somebody had hit me up, saying like, yeah, we might be bouncing or it might be over, because of this bounce that we have. And yes, it looks pretty compelling because this is on the daily. We spent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days, a whole week, right here, just bouncing on this level, and we're getting some momentum off of it. One thing that I'm not too fond of, I always like looking at my volume. And crypto, like it seems like volume really fucking matters, from my experience. So we're seeing that we're getting a drop off in volume. That's not a good sign, especially when we're approaching some sort of a resistance. You want to see high volume, and that's not to say that it still can't jump up above this. I've seen plenty of times where we're on dead low volume and we break above a resistance. Now, on those same instances, we would fall right back below that resistance, or that support at that time. And that's part of my analysis, is that I like to see above average volume. I have the average line here. So obviously above average is good, below average is below average. The color of the bar obviously matters as well. If we have high volume of selling, then we're going to get a dump, right? It tells you accordingly of what the hell is happening. We have high volume, but where's this volume going? Is it buying or is it selling? So right now, things are pumping up, but we don't have high volume to kind of push us through that. So, and also we are in the weekend, which is less activity. The Asians don't typically trade on the weekends per se, and they usually influence that price crazy. So I'm actually taking a look at next week, Tuesday, Wednesday time frame, to see how we react off of this. Should we might get a response by Monday on what this market want to do, but this is what I'm looking at. I'm not in any trades or anything. I'm just simply buying and holding at the moment. I will enter into a trade if I get some bullish signals down here at these levels, because we may just be going back to that going back to all-time highs and getting to all-time highs. My target is 7 grand for ETH conservatively, and then 11 grand for like the ultimate hoorah, in a sense. Also too, this pullback, we've seen it, earlier last year in May, and we could recover to that to all-time highs. We're technically still in a uptrend because our low here is, we only put a higher low if we were to reverse from here and continue. And of course, you can see that we have a higher high here. So on the grand scheme of things, we're still trending upwards. And around here, these levels are great times to buy and put in, because obviously you'll get your best bang for your buck. You'll get your better average price when things are all said and done. So that is why my strategy is I identify the levels, the key levels, and week by week, day by day, whatever, I will put more buy limit orders at those levels. If we get something like this, I'm chilling because I know my buys are getting filled or about to get filled. Yes, I had buys here too, and obviously I'm down on them right now. But because I had buys here and I still have some buys here, it averages itself out, right? I get more of an average price as opposed to a definite price at this 2,800 price point. So from there, if prices are falling, that's fine. Things are getting filled in. Once I see we getting a nice bottom, I always look for this double bottom pattern as a potential sign that, hey, things are done. And of course, to have this rack system coded in, which works pretty freaking well because it's part of the strategy that I use anyway, just code it into one. So I will take it off because it can get a bit busy. The pattern that I'm looking for is just that double bottom pattern to find support on an existing support level, or a bottom that I think is going to come in. But obviously, I will monitor other things. Like I said, the volume. I will look at how price action is reacting to the different zones, and of course, make my decision based off of that real time. I don't try to put pending orders for trades per se. My only pending orders is just to buy the asset outright. So based off of what I'm seeing here, I think we're going to have one more drop, just in my opinion. So essentially coming up here, getting rejected and touching here. But I think it's going to be a quick touch before we continue back up. Now,
I second that. That's the
Yeah.
same thing I see on the S&P.
So these bounces is what I've been calling those dead cats. And again, at any point, any one of these bounces can be that reversal, but you have to pair in other factors to see like, hey, does this move have enough momentum? Does this move have enough legs to, get back up to these all-time highs? So that's why I, especially in crypto, I highly, and I'll take a look at the S&P and the other charts as well, but oh shit, I'm still on this. But again, everything right now is correlated because, same investors, same markets, and what I was saying about that in the, group chat, and as you can see, we're already getting some rejection at this particular level here. So yeah, I expect this to continue falling back down. But what I was saying in the group chat is that you will have the same people that got a whole bunch of money in different markets, or you have people that got a bunch of money that are being managed by a hedge fund, but this hedge fund has their money in multiple markets. If this hedge fund sees that, hey, there's, some dark times looming, they're going to pull money from all the markets for their investors that, they're going to make the moves. They're going to, hedge them in some bonds or some other type of markets. And some of that money will start flowing out of the stock markets, out of the crypto markets, et cetera, right? There hasn't, and people always say, oh, the hedge against the stock market is gold. No, the fuck is not.
Hell no.
Gold got so, what fucked up gold and what we're trying to prevent from happening in the crypto market? Futures markets are fucking terrible for any market. I'm telling you, especially if it's an asset. Well, if it's a physical asset that you can buy, it's fucking terrible for the futures market because futures markets are based off of sentiment. Just think about it. Like it's just somebody's uh thinking, hey, the future price of this is going to be lower, it's going to be higher. And that influences other people's activity or their trading, because they may hear that, hey, a future projects a negative 20% pullback on this particular asset. What do you think everybody else is going to do? They're going to try to sell and get the fuck out of that asset. So although it's a futures kind of predictive or analysis, or however they come up with their stuff for futures, it indirectly influences what they actually say is going to happen, because it puts fear in people's hearts that, oh shit, they predict shit's going to drop 20%. Well, I don't want to lose 20%. Let me hedge my money in some bonds or whatever. Right. So it then causes that actual prediction. So futures markets for assets, not good. And plus, you're not actually buying the asset, you're just paper trading. You're gambling, the price, right? You're betting on the price in the future. You're not actually buying any Bitcoin, Ethereum, whatever. So it does nothing for the asset itself. And I think that's what they want to do, because we all know the value of Bitcoin in particular. It might be a strategy for them to have people continue trading paper Bitcoin, like how they have people trading paper gold, and then they hoard the physical gold in their vaults and shit like that for themselves. It's all a tactic, and they're trying to put crypto in that same box of tactics. But once people fully realize that crypto can be the legit hedge against all of those markets and the futures and all of that stuff, that's when you'll start to see Bitcoin and other cryptos decouple from the traditional stock markets. In the future, which I think it's going to eventually happen, because a lot of millennials and younger people are in crypto, and shit, we half of us barely have money in the bank anyway. Most of it is like in some type of investment. You're going to see people realize that, let's say the same scenario happens, right? Where people are becoming fearful, talks of war, shit like that. It's going to come to a time where people are going to say, the traditional markets are unstable. Let's hedge in a stable asset, or in an asset that's not pegged to the traditional markets, which will be Bitcoin. Let's hedge our money in there because it won't be influenced by the traditional markets. Right now, it is being influenced by the traditional markets because of sentiment, right? Because of how people feel about shit, right? If I feel like things are going down in the markets, right now, people are pulling their money out of all the markets and putting it in bonds. Now, well, shit, bonds rates are fucking crazy. I don't even know what people are putting it in. So instead of it being in bonds that they put it into to hedge against stocks and all the other commodities and stuff, it'll be Bitcoin or crypto, whatever. It'll be some type of cryptocurrency. And that's when you'll start to see the negative correlation between the stock markets or traditional markets falling and then crypto rising, because people are moving their money over. And it does happen like this now, but on a slower curve. Like Bitcoin will fall too, so does the other traditional markets, but it'll take like a couple months for Bitcoin and other cryptos to start shooting up, but the other traditional markets are shooting up too, because essentially people are just taking that money and re-injecting it back into the markets that they took the money out of. And I hope that kind of makes sense for y'all on like how this isn't quite a hedge yet, and how gold got fucked up as a hedge because they made that shit a futures market. So people are just trading paper gold, and no one actually owns real gold. And it's just dumb. So that was super fucking long-winded, but nonetheless, yeah, this is going to be the same analysis on all of these cryptos. Let me sort this so we can look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin showing the same damn pattern. I have a little bit more analysis on Bitcoin because I've kind of been
Sidebar, what do you use the chart, Zay? Like, what do you use right now to look at these charts?
Oh, this is Trading View. You can download it on your computer.
Oh yeah, I got that. I just gotta. That's what I was gonna do today. What do you
Yeah,
use?
and you can
To set your
customize
point.
it and stuff. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was saying like, what are you using to set your price points and everything?
Oh, okay, good question. I use Fibonacci
All right.
extensions. What happened?
No, I was just saying the fib. Okay, cool.
Yeah, just fibs. I trade 618 to 618, and I also have. All right, these are my fib levels. Okay, especially if I'm going. Let me do it on another chart that isn't so busy. Take this one out.
Ooh,
Hey
who's
Zay,
this
have
with the
you
head
ever
and
heard of a
shoulders?
hex coin?
Oh shit! Yeah, yeah, both was talking. What happened?
Oh, sorry. The hex coin.
Yeah, you always ask me about Hex.
Do I?
I don't know. I feel like mad people be asking me about Hex. So I'm gonna be honest with you. Nothing is attracting me to Hex to even do a full deep dive on it. I don't know why. It's like it's a scam. I don't know why. I don't know. So here's what I'm gonna do, right? Because everybody keep asking me. I'm gonna do a deep dive and I'm gonna do a call specifically on Hex. And we're gonna go through everything because did I what was it? It was one thing that turned me off about it in the beginning. Um, I think people got rugged or some shit. Whatever. I will do that deep dive for you, for sure, and then we will get into it because I see that they have a swap now and 38% APY. But here's what I wanted to tell y'all though. Here's why I'm always so hesitant to jump into these new coins and all that stuff, right? Crypto is small. The crypto development company is, community is even smaller. The same people that were running scams and ICOs in 2017 are the same people that are creating new coins and new NFTs and stuff nowadays. And the overall concept and what they play on is the fact that when newbies come into the market, we see Bitcoins at whatever $1,000, $6,000, $10,000, $30,000, whatever. And we're like, I'd rather buy something that's cheaper so I can make more, right? So I can make more money off of it. But too often, the coin that you want to purchase, you have to buy with Bitcoin or Ethereum or some type of major coin. And the play is that I will exchange you my Chuck E. Cheese tokens for your real money. That's the concept because some of these coins, when you're brand new, it's basically Chuck E. Cheese tokens. Its utility only lives within your world or your ecosystem, right? It doesn't have a global utility yet, like a Bitcoin or Ethereum does. But the tactic is for me to scam your ass and give you this Chuck E. Cheese token for your real money. And that's not what I'm saying Hex is doing here. I'm just giving you the overall thought and idea and the scam concept behind crypto. The name of the game, I feel like once this is all said and done, is to get more Bitcoin. Like I have a weird feeling that like we all gonna be like, oh shit, I should have just kept just buying Bitcoin because of that limited supply. There's going to be a supply shock that really hits the exchanges with Bitcoin and realize that Bitcoin is the major pair for everything. So if there's a supply shock to that, it's going to cause a ripple in the market. Um, and not to the point where like other things are going to be more expensive. Like, no, we're just going to have, be utilizing smaller bits of small satoshis, amounts of satoshis to purchase things, because Bitcoin's price is going to be at like $4 or $5 million when there's less of it going around. And that's the whole point. That's what we're trending and trekking towards. But we're distracted every bull cycle with a whole bunch of brand new coins, brand new offerings, that it's not like they take US dollars. They take Bitcoin and Ethereum. So I get the concept of my $100 will go further into this smaller coin because it's cheaper than it would in Bitcoin. I get that concept. But you have to understand that cryptocurrency is software. If you're investing into a software that isn't going anywhere, you're not going to make any money. I think people need to start looking at it like this is similar to investing into MySpace, Facebook, Instagram, right? Knowing what you know now, which ones would you invest in versus how things were when things first started out? MySpace was the shit. Now, where is MySpace, right? So the concept that the point that I'm trying to make here is that you have to don't look at the cryptocurrency for its price or what's on the surface at all, because none of that stuff is just to help you conceptualize what the hell you're buying. At the end of the day, it's just software, it's just code. So you really should invest in the people that are behind that code, which is why they always say, look at the team, look at all that extra stuff. But even beyond that, look at how well the code works by itself, how well it's being, or how well people are developing on it, right? How many developers are contributing to the code to improve it, things of that nature. And yeah, I'm gonna just end that there. But I'll do a deep dive on Hex just to give you guys more perspective on it, or my perspective on it, and then go from there. But yeah, no, I'd rather just buy Bitcoin and Ethereum and just go live my life. But I'm going to show y'all the fib on this. Some of y'all might already know these fib levels. So I would usually start from my high. Fuck. My mouse been fucking up lately. I gotta go get a new one. Start from the high and let's just take the whole move. Fuck it. But usually you'll just bring it down to like a support area. Let's actually do that to this low right here. So from a high pulled down to a low. These are all that I have ticked on. 0.618 and 0.66. You can actually click in here and type that in. These two levels are usually act as a magnet per se. And if I'm looking for targets, I'll target TP1 1.618. And then there are some in between that, but I swing trade crypto, so I'm looking for the larger moves. But 618 to 618. This is for projections. You can also reverse this to set some support levels or resistance levels, whatever, different levels that it'll touch. But I usually tend to use it for targets, and you'll see, yeah, what I mean on that. So this will be it would have been my support level that I would watch out for. Once breached, then the move is over for now. So I'll show it to you on a better situation. So we're taking all of this move didn't happen yet. If we're taking this here, you'll see your level that it came back to. Fuck, this mouse is fucking up. All right, cool. So yeah, we had the fall, and this was the level that gave us some major resistance, and we started shooting past it after finding some support. This is on a larger time frame, so less data to work with, but um, that's how all of these levels that I have here, based off of the fibs and
Mhm.
the extensions, are the 1.618, 2.618 targets. And I started using it as of late, like probably mid last year, but I've known about this concept for a while, but never grasped it. Because this guy, his name on Twitter is literally 618 to 618. And he does crypto trading and shit. And he just trades fib level 618 to 1.618. And the reason it didn't make sense to me is because I wasn't swing trading. The shit only works well for swing trading. Well, no, I'm lying. It doesn't, because I have. All right, so we identified this move, right? We got a pump and then a pullback. So we can take the fibs here to that pump down there, right? And you can see how the 618 level reacts to different things. Well, I probably should have did it on the history so you can see how the targets are hit. But this is where you want to take your buy or your sell or whatever, however you're looking at it, based off of what you want it for. Like if I would reverse this, right? This would now be my support level, which, as you see, we came down and found that support level, which is why I marked out this area as green. On the reverse tip, it's a resistance. Now, it's only a resistance until we get above it. We've gotten above it and we're finding support. So I would take my buy order there and have my target at 3K. So that you can use it on a smaller time frame. I just typically don't trade on smaller time frames. I hope that kind of explains things. But those are the only levels that I use in fibs.
I appreciate it.
No doubt. Let's take a look at the traditional markets. What the fuck is markets? I gotta reset my list. I haven't looked at Nas, and this is how long ago I looked at Nas. I could have been in the buy in this motherfucker, just letting that shit rock. Let's take these out. Like, this is just crazy to fucking look at. And actually, I'm gonna show y'all something even crazier. Actually, Nas don't go back that far. No, it was U.S. 30. That didn't go back that far. This V-shaped recovery bullshit, straight money printer. Straight money printer. Let's see what we're looking at. 4 hours. Good. Let me take some of these markings out, and then we'll kind of start from scratch. All right. Getting a little pump. Wow, this was. Oh, this is what you was talking about? Like they were buying at close? I
Let's
see,
see. Yeah.
a nice little pump there on. It just had to be
Yeah.
brought there.
I think that's going to go into a continuation. I think it's going to go into the same like how you were just talking about Ethereum going back up, ETH and Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So I see that little pump right there, right? Because all the like the last couple Fridays and Mondays, like they were not buying that close at all. Like they were not ripping them up, but then they did that little pump legit right at the end of close.
It was one day, like a couple weeks ago, they did that, but they never did it on Friday. And I think that goes up. It's going to be another dead cat bounce. I think the S&P 500 goes up to like 450 again, and it's going to drop 20 points. It's going to drop to like back to 430, and then that's when you're going to see like the rally to uptrend, given what happens in the next Fed meeting in March with Powell when they do rate hikes and all that good stuff.
I thought this market thing, I got to figure out which one actually shows the market closes and buys, because I just wanted to take a look. Damn, I forgot the name of that indicator. But yeah, obviously we're in an uptrend. Let's go on a daily. Reset this. And let's take a look at the bigger picture here. Which would make sense, huh? So let's mark this off, this area. And then let's do this. We're gonna mark this area off. This, that, and then I'm gonna mark off just the high. And mark off just this low. I always take wicks into consideration, just because
Got to.
you know, some smart motherfucker got a sniper move. All right, let's jump into the 4-hour. It's always so choppy. I hate this chart. I mean, technically, we did break trend here. Yeah, I need to go to Best Buy as soon as I get off this call with y'all.
You getting that mouse ASAP.
Yeah, nah, this shit annoying. It's like doing double clicks and shit. It's a terrible trend line. I hate how this chart goes.
That looks like a lot of these stocks look like they had a falling knife and they bouncing out of that.
Yeah,
Like you could literally see it like the last that right there.
yeah. So that's
Ford.
Huh?
No, I said Ford looks exactly like that too, with the falling knife.
And if I put that trend right there, that's so. Yeah, let me show y'all something. You can almost create a channel that kind of shows you. Let's extend it this way. That kind of shows you the upper and lower limits of your trend, if that makes sense. Actually, I should have reset this. All right. So it's sort of like, all right, you clearly see we're trending upwards, and we have some points that are trending above the, trend channel, and then those that could trend within the trend channel and below it, and even some that will, find resistance on the bottom of that trend channel. This here, that dead cat might come up to the bottom of that, the top of the trend channel. And I probably should have just used the damn trend channel thing. I know there's one in here, but for it to get rejected here and continue its way down. 3,000 is a fucking stretch, but it can happen. Um, but here's the thing, though. You're saying, these big money, they're purchasing, they're buying at close, which is odd. And when they do that, is and shit, you see the fucking bullish candles off of it. That's definitely not retail. So if I was a gambling man, it's not much there. Fucking 1-to-1 ratio. But that's as high as I would take my first target and then watch it from there. That's the 36, 140. I mean, it might be as bold to go up to 36.8, just below 37. Nah, I don't see that move happening. Again, maybe because look, we always have history to kind of help us, right? It's like none of this ever happened, and we're now doing the analysis just now. Like it was trending above that, trend channel. We fell below it and bounced right at the bottom of it and continued up. This is bullish. So we identified this area as that resistance because obviously here we got rejected hard. So this is obviously the resistance. If it came up here and then got rejected hard again, move over, right? That's always how I look at it. But the more you could get trading happening within this level, the bullish it is that you will break that level. The way I like to think about it is like you're punching a glass. The more punches you have on that glass, you'll break through. Now, again, the breakthrough isn't the end all be all. The retest is almost that true testament on if that breakthrough was valid or not. Okay. You can see we had some confluence here with our 618 level that we have in the green, plus the top level of our trend. Because again, it's still trending upwards, regardless on if it's on the top half of that trend channel or the bottom half of the trend channel. It's still trending upwards. When you see it kind of break that bottom trend, you then find maybe there is another trend that's lower on a bigger channel that is stemming from this point. And, maybe this isn't a good example, but there's other assets where you'll see what I mean, that, hey, okay, where's the next level that this could get caught up at? So we got to the bottom of the channel, shot up, got to our resistance. We got some consolidation within our resistance, which is a bullish sign. We broke through above it, which is again still bullish, but we have to look for that retest. And that retest happened not only in our 618 area, but also the top of the trend channel as well. So from there, we were able to bounce properly. Now, this isn't always a guarantee. We could have simply just fell right back in here, probably got picked up for, by the bottom of the trend and continued up and tried again later. But we found some support here, primarily because, there was a lot of activity happening here. Still some trades up here. Like this was an area of confluence for sure, and lots of liquidity here. There's a lot of trading here. So we found a bounce here. We bounced on the top of that 618, which is the 6-6 level. Remember on my fibs, I have the 618 as the bottom and my 6-6 is the top. It creates that little zone for me. So we bounced from the bottom of the zone and we bounced on the top of it and continued our merry way up, the uptrend. Now we're finding ourselves again in a situation that is very similar to this one, where let me actually take this off, where we're getting a bullish bounce from the bottom of the trend. Again, someone wants this trend to continue because we could have easily fallen through, just like we could have easily fallen through here, but there was a
The
bullish.
government. The government.
You know what? Let me actually check. November
The gov-
29th.
The government.
Actually,
I'm
yeah,
telling
this was a weekend because
you. Yes.
October 30th to November 2nd, that was a weekend. Retail does not buy on the weekends, at least not with all this movement. So the 29th, yeah, it was a Friday. So they bought again. So all of these little V shapes are probably fucking Fridays or right before holidays. Yeah, this was around Christmas. So
Look, this is what I think is gonna happen. I'm sorry for cutting you off.
No,
This is what I think is gonna happen.
Mhm.
I think this is gonna be a viciously bullish week. Not too much chop, a lot of uptrend with the technology, with the technological market, you know, and a little bit of consumer goods, just off the strength of Amazon and Google and all their earnings this week.
Yep,
you know,
yep.
So they're gonna go off and feed off earnings and we're doing this, we're doing that, because they waited for Apple, crashed everything, and then like, you know what? Let's just buy at the end of the day. We got what we needed. We got all the puts. Some stocks hit max pain with the options. They got what they needed. Boom, it shoots up. Do this again this week, but not so much. They're not going to let everything sell off. They're going to keep continuing. And then next week, another vicious just drop. Probably like another falling knife.
Well, this is NFP too, right? NFP week.
What happened?
This NFP week, right?
Is it? Yeah. Well, is it the last week? Yeah. Isn't it NFP week the last week of? Well, no, we
Yeah.
just had it, did we not? Let me check.
No, today the 29th. The 30th.
One second.
Let me see.
Oh, it's the first Friday of every month.
Mm-hmm.
So next week, Friday.
Yeah. So the 4th.
Yeah. So yeah, it's about to be NFT week. And I don't like, that's not a fucking coincidence. Like, I'm tired of shit being coincidences in this space when we know damn well these motherfuckers are doing some dumb shit. So actually, let me go back to this, and because I forgot to set the targets, because the targets will help us kind of see what the hell going on. So I'm gonna just set these 2 targets for now. Probably won't even hit that one, but since this isn't crypto, turn on the 1, which, as you can see, the 1 falls right at, well, obviously, never mind. The 272 and the 414. If you want some, actually there is 1 more, but that's almost always it.
So in other words, I need to get out all my trades by Thursday.
Shoot, you might actually. Are you already in some trades right now?
I got Tesla long terms and everything, but I'm swinging that like on Monday.
Okay.
Monday we have a big continuation. Ford has earnings, so whatever just pops Monday, I might get out, and then I know I'm 100% buying a put for Activision, 100%.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's long term for sure. Yeah, like it usually starts to influence like probably midweek type stuff. It's usually like the following week after NFP comes out that kind of affects everything, from what I've seen. But then sometimes it don't shit happen either. But I doubt that for this time because a lot of shit is happening. Like
We're super
lot
bullish right now. Super bullish week. Friday surprise sell off at close. Continuation into next week.
Yeah,
That's how I see it.
We could definitely have that for sure. Like, damn, look at these wicks, boy. That is definitely them. So yeah, things. Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, from like how I was just explaining with the trend and everything, like just how I'm looking at it, this will at the very least revisit up here, and might break through depending on how things are looking. And yeah, like I would take just that first target, a quick 1.1 ratio. If you're trading it, well, I mean, it would have been great to get a better entry, but I would watch for that. And it's crazy for it to fucking, if this shit breaks an all-time high in the midst of this market, sentiment and shit, then there's no and ifs or buts about it that this shit is manipulated. That's just my opinion on it. Anything else y'all want me to look at? Yeah.
Hey, did you do Nas?
Oh yeah,
No.
Nas, I didn't do that one yet. So US 30 for sure. Well, yeah. Do y'all got like the targets that I put up here? Just on the, I mean, on the support side, I'm looking at 34, 479. If we break this uptrend, if we break below, it's 33, 200. I'm looking at this as support. On the upside, like I see it it might be the opposite of what happened here, right? You know how we were looking at that uptrend and I'm like, it found its retest right above the top side of the uptrend channel as well as our 618 level. On the flip side, it would be that we find resistance at the top of our uptrend channel and our, uh, all-time high or major resistance right now. So we have a confluence of resistance in a sense that's kind of approaching, and I would like to see how things react at this point right here. Yeah, I mean there's nothing else to it in my opinion. I'm gonna just look out for this particular area to see if we get some resistance. Like something is definitely gonna happen there, whether we break through that motherfucker or we break down from it. So that's how I'm looking at for US 30. But I do
If you drop down to a lower time frame,
like what you want? What time frame?
like 5 minute.
That low. Okay. We got a resistance point right here. Even if I could show you that with this, not fully quite, but yeah. And we're not even getting up to it. Well, shit, it's a fucking weekend, so ain't nothing to judge off of. So I hate fucking these traditional markets. Crypto got me spoiled to shit always being active. But yeah, you guys can see that, right? We've been hitting this area,
Mm.
which can be bullish, right? We can get that breakthrough because far too often, the more you hit an area, the weaker it gets. So yeah, was there something in particular you wanted me to look at, or just to look
No,
at
I
it?
was just trying to see if it broke the trend.
Oh no.
You'll,
Yeah, it's still there.
you'll be able to see futures open up at like 6 o'clock today. So you can go to investing.com and you see
Oh
the
yeah,
futures,
that's true. Yeah.
and then you'll see, you can get a gauge. You can gauge what the week's gonna look like a little bit, if it breaks those levels or not. Like I said, like me personally, if the VIX goes down to like 25, 24, it breaks down 25, 24, we have a little bit of a bull run. But the moment it breaks back through 26.50 to 27, that's when there's gonna be bearish in the market.
Yeah, that's
So,
great.
yeah. Always
What is
definitely
that website you said? Investors.com?
investing.com. I'll
Investing
put it in the,
ING.
yeah, I'll
Oh
put it in
yeah,
the
you
chat
can
right
put it in
now.
the chat. Yeah. Go. But yeah, this is it's a little crazy to think about, but you know, it's just the fucking world we live in. Motherfuckers manipulating shit for their own
Yeah.
goods. So if you could just learn the game, you know, get you your little piece of pie, you know, fuck it. Sort of like, you know, take your little food and eat it and shut up about it. This ain't
Right.
fucking normal. Like, and just like what you were just saying, with the futures markets opening at 6 to kind of give you a projection, that projection or that idea will influence that investor or multiple investors who are looking at the same thing. It will influence their decision on how they go about the markets. So
And that's
like,
why they should wait until the market opens for about like 15, 20 minutes to let those charts settle in.
no, I feel you. And usually, yeah, when market opens or whatever, you'll have a sharp dip or rise, and then things will reverse and trend into, you know, wherever we're supposed to go. So,
Yeah.
like,
It's
it's weird.
There's certain days you have to use like a 1 minute chart. Like I said the other day, like use the 1 minute chart for day trading, and then you can get in and out, scalp and everything. But if you're like anything else long term, you want to use like the 15-minute chart, 30-minute chart. I really like I love the 30-minute chart now, and I like the 4-hour chart for like if I have a long term call or want to do a long term put or something. I'm definitely checking the 4-hour chart on a daily.
Yeah, when I was day trading a lot, 30-minute was the chart that I did all my analysis on. 5-minute would be my entry charts. And 4 hour was just seeing the big picture. But
Yep, I just put the website in the chat.
I ain't got time to day trade anymore, so I just swing through shit. All right, let's take the big
I don't
picture.
see it. It didn't come up.
The investing.com link should be in the
Yeah.
links. There's the last message in there under the join the iCloud video.
Oh, you put it on
The
the.
iMessage
You put it on the Discord chat.
I put it in the iMessage. I can put it in the Discord chat. Hold
Oh, nah, yeah. I just
on. I'm
I
tripping.
forgot we're not all in the same fucking groups and shit.
Yep, I'm about to put it in. Right.
Yeah, just put it in the crypto chat on Discord.
It's in the crypto chat and it's in the Discord chat. I just put it in the crypto chat right now. I mean the Discord chat just now.
All right, bet. All right, let's take a look at Nas. Let's mark some things off. Go from there. That is interesting. This should get out of hand now. So I just jumped to the smaller time frame and took the most recent move so I could get the most local resistance slash support. These will be the different levels. And even on this 4-hour fib extension, just on this move to down here, to basically this support, the 1.618 lines up exactly where the daily 2.72 is. And yeah, we'd like to see that confluence. And lastly, though, so short-term targets. All right, yeah, same thing here on Nas. Shit looks fucking identical. We could even do. Actually, it looks a little bit different. Yeah. I don't like that. Something like Nas looked like it completely fell out of its trend. Yeah, I don't have anything else. Let's jump to the 4-hour. Seems like Nas's bounce is kind of coming from the support area of that 618, but the trend itself has been broken. My bad, y'all. My mouse is fucking up. Right?
Oh, you good?
Shit, pissing me off. There we go. Nah, this is a stretch, but yeah, no, US 30 looks a bit better than Nas. Like again, the only thing Nas got going for it right now is this support area. If we jump to US 30, like that support area is all the way down here. And we obviously saw with the, you know, the trend channel. Well, technically, if I go into here, Yeah, no, it's right next to it. Yeah, it looks uglier on NOS than US 30. Like at least here I can make a case for like we looked at this, right? That we can repeat the same with the uptrend still being intact.
Mm-hmm.
I don't got that for Nas. Like Nas has this one basic uptrend, and I tried to take it from the absolute low point. And yeah, and the other thing that kind of shows me that hey, this uptrend might have been broken is this. So trend this. Basically with your trends, you want as many touches on them as possible. And of course, they're never perfect and it's all subjective to everyone else and what they see on the chart. But so we have this uptrend, right? And we're bouncing off of it, whatever. One thing that concerned me is here. We bounced it off of it. I'm so shitty on where these things are fucking located. All right, here we go. So we bounced off of it here, right?
Mm-hmm.
We got another bounce here that wasn't as healthy, because we didn't go anywhere. Okay, so let me, there's something I'm missing. One second, hold on. Oh, okay, there it is. Path. All right, so we got the bounce here, but we didn't go anywhere. In fact, we ended up, holy crap, wrong one, sorry. Copy path, what the fuck?
I think I see where was concerning you at the
Yep, right there. But either way, I'll just use like the draw tool. So if I can fucking find that, like they made shit so hard. All right, we got the bounce here. We didn't go anywhere. We just fell down. But this is a good sign. We got supported by our 618 level. From there, we got the bounce to get into the trend. Remember, I was talking about that with US 30. That
Yeah.
there is that possibility you could still fall below the trend and try to get up into it. Well, this is what Nas is happening right now. Tried to get into the trend, rejected right here, and we're right back down again. Now, it's weird because this always happens, and I need to take note of it. Typically, right? You see, we had this bounce and it came all the way down here. The next bounce doesn't have to come all the way down there. It'll come near it. And I see that a lot. And typically this is bullish where it would kind of create that double bottom, but we still have the trend resistance to get up again, get back up in that trend. And you see, we never even made it back in there. So we just kept trending downwards. We even came back down to our support again. And this is a bad sign because we're putting in lower lows, right? So now we're developing a trend and now we got another lower high. We're developing a downtrend. And this was the last little hoorah. We broke our major support here. And now that's about to be resistance that we have to get above. And we're nowhere near it. We're just trending downwards. So it seems like we found some support here. Because as you can see, we're not falling. We found some type of settlement area. But again, it's hard, like it's a harder journey for Nas right now because it has this resistance that it has to break through and find support above
I think I think that's where the hard rejection comes in.
Yeah. So that's what I was talking about on all of these, that we might get
But
that
there's a
hard rejection over here. Go ahead.
fair market gap there, right there, where you just circle.
Where on the Nas one?
Yeah,
Oh, you're talking about here, right?
yeah, right in there, where the green at.
Let me actually close all these. I forgot why the fuck I. Oh no! I fucking deleted my damn chart. Darn it. Hold on. Let me get that Nas chart back. I don't even remember which one it was that I used. Okay, cool. Now my mouse just wants to shit. Nas under US 30. Okay. You're saying a gap. Are you saying like if I take this right here, like that's a good enough gap to make some gains to where the potential rejection is?
Yeah, I think it'll go back to where your green is.
Yeah. So that's a fair assessment. And yeah, I mean, not financial advice, make it move. My thing is, for me, damn, I shouldn't have used this damn thing. I gotta delete every little mark that I made. My main thing for me is just that like that's not a big enough move for me because I know like if I trade on M24, they're gonna take their fees and shit. So if we had it, if I were to take this, let's take a look at it. Yeah, again, it's another like 1-to-1 ratio. Almost. I mean, I would like to respect the wick, but even here, it's pretty much like the same ratio that we saw on Nas. If we take Nas from where it's at right now, oh shit, I did the fifth. If we take Nas from where it's at right now, I'd like to respect the wick, and I think we're gonna get some confluence around here. So 1.3. Oh well, the confluence will be more here, but either way, it's a 1.3 ratio. It's not the greatest. I at least like to have 2-to-1. But again, that you could still make some moves, scalping, whatever. I do think this will be bullish in the opening and the beginning stages, like just based off of what I've been showing y'all, that hey, all of these have this little dead cat bounce look to them, that people are going to be really bullish, but then we might get major rejections from these resistance points. Now, the point that Reek you made earlier was just that hey, these banks are fucking buying on Fridays, so that I don't know. Like we just would have to judge it. Shit, I'll take a look at the futures and also judge it based off of how the market's open and react. If I'm seeing just straight bullishness, like there's no breather to it, then I know it's complete manipulation, and this whole analysis that I just did might be completely wrong, because I tend to kind of do this analysis based off of non-manipulated markets, I guess, or like
Right.
I'm not expecting for some manipulation thing to happen. So that's why analysis is always ongoing, and you have to kind of wait and see type of thing, because anything can happen. Like right now, they could say, "Shit, Russia just launched a fucking bomb." All of this shit is going down. Like none of that shit will matter. All that shit is gonna go down. So you still have to prepare yourself for the unforeseen, and there will be unforeseen stuff. Like that's just a given. So you just play the numbers. If you want to scalp it real quick, just know that you got some resistance coming, and to take your money when you up type stuff, right? If you know what you are up against, if you know what's coming or what to look out for, stuff like that, you can at least prepare yourself for when that actually happens. So for me, on the crypto side, I battled volatility by not buying at certain, at the market prices, but actually putting the pending buy orders at lower prices so that, yes, if prices are falling, it's a bad thing, but not necessarily, because now I'm getting cheaper assets, right? I'm getting the same asset for a cheaper price. So you have to kind of hedge yourself and, measure your risk appetite and base it off of that. But it is what it is. Just learn the rules to the game and play it accordingly. So yeah, I'm seeing a whole bunch of these little dead cats. Like I said, Nas looks, I mean, unless like, this is the new bottom of this trend. Again, that's unforeseen or yet to be seen. And this could be very viable. But I don't know, based off of what I've seen on U.S. 30 and what's the other one? SPX? Yeah, SPX. Take a look at that. Look how long ago I had these boxes drawn out. And if I extend them to the left, they're still in play. Look at that bottom. Sniper entry, as you kids would say these days. But yeah, like, these the same levels. What was this back in August of 21? So, fuck, I hate this bigger.
Yeah, I don't see no. That's also why, like, I see us going down again, because it's still a lot of fear in the market. It's not over, but there's no gaps to be filled, especially looking at this chart right now with SPX.
Yeah.
But we jump up, we test resistance at like around 4460. That's really ambitious. But
That's
I think
your projections is 4460?
yeah, pretty soon. That's like ambitious, but really it's like 4450. We get to around like 4450, and then it's just gonna break back down.
Yeah, we're looking at the same thing because my box here that I just extended, the bottom half of it is 4460 and up to 4470. But really,
4470 will get back in all-time highs, and I don't see that happening until about
no, it's not.
May.
The
Well, not
all-time
all-time high, but like around shooting back up to like, where is it at? Let me check this real quick. Check something.
Well, no, it's the same thing as Nas right now.
Yeah, I think we go back. If we get up there, we'll go back to like the 470s on SPY.
Wow, I see what's playing out. It's a Head and Shoulders.
Yes.
So we're gonna get this right
and
shoulder here, and we're gonna fall down. And look at where the neckline is. We break that neckline, we done up.
Exactly.
So
some stocks might get to their all-time highs. That's what I was meaning. Like Apple, like a lot of tech stocks may rally back up. Amazon is just too volatile for me. Amazon could really go up like $300 in a day, just like Tesla. So
they all got the same pattern. I just realized I missed the Head and Shoulders pattern and all the other ones. So US 30, this is technically the left shoulder, head. And you could get look at where the fuck the circle is at.
Yo,
I can't make this shit up. So.
They might try to complete. Listen, I'm telling you, they might try to complete it this week. Yeah, Friday might be so crazy. Yeah, so crazy. Everybody's gonna buy lottos. Everybody's gonna buy lottos Thursday. Yada, yada. And they're gonna clap everybody. They're gonna clap everybody. This week is gonna be bullish for everything.
Damn, that's crazy. Yeah, I totally missed that pattern. I was just doing it based off the
So you think
trend
it's
and
gonna be
just
bullish for everything, and then Friday they sell it off?
saw
Yes.
that one. But,
It's a big setup. Like it's a big setup. Like if you look at the
yeah,
patterns, the head and shoulders, like you gotta think, like we'll keep saying dead cat bounce. You get a dead cat bounce off a falling knife, anything like that. But if you get all these patterns like together, like all right, if you're looking like to simplify, if you're looking at bullish patterns, right? Like I always look at bear flags or bull flags. You can see on like a 5-minute chart flagging. I was saying that a lot in the chat 2 weeks ago with Ford. I was thinking everybody money on Ford. It was just flagging crazy. But when you get everything grouped together with like a head and shoulders forming, then the falling knife, and then you get a dead cat bounce on there. The dead cat bounce is a relief bounce. They're both the same thing. So if you get the dead cat bounce, that's going to have people get FOMO. Oh, fear of missing out. I'm going to buy in. That is going to supercharge that bubble that's building for that drop. And once they get into that area, it's going to pop and everything's going to fall back down and have a crazy continuation to the downside.
Yep.
And it's also leaning it's also following with the Fed because the first rate hike is going to be in March.
Oh shit.
So
it's too many things, confluing in one spot, one area that there's going to be a reaction. And right now it doesn't look positive, but you still have to keep that positive reaction in the back of your mind because do understand that money printer goes burr whenever the fuck they want it. So we can see that, hey, there's not lots of people trading or whatever, but you get these huge green candles because they're injecting money into the markets. So that in itself still keep a lookout on, but I'm leaning more towards the bearish, side of things on the rejection.
Me too. I've been saying that I've been saying that for the last month, even though I've been getting clapped on options because I've been just doing lotto puts and I got caught in a choppy market. But
yeah, it's hard. You gotta get in there at the right time. Once that shit starts going sideways, it's like, damn, am I up or am I down?
I just recommend people to just really follow the news and look at certain similarities. Like you just gotta look at the time of February and March of 2020, and everybody when they're comparing this to when COVID first hit, and now we have this new wave of COVID with Delta and Omicron and stuff, and rate hikes and people selling off things.
Yep.
March was looking the same way in 2022, and then around April, we got a nice little relief after that. After March was got hectic. April was looking good. May was okay.
Yo, my bad, go ahead.
No, I was just saying then it got a little choppy. Like in May, June, but it was still it was a choppy uptrend. So
yeah, summer is usually pretty, sideways movement. There's not much trends happening on markets. That's how the summer always is. Now, on my birthday, May 11th, it's always seems like it's a day that either I made a good move or a bad move. It seems like the markets either turn positive or negative around that date. But that makes sense because it's moving into the summer months. And obviously,
you want to know something crazy? Mm-hmm. I believe that's another rate hike.
What, in May?
Yeah, so we're supposed to get they priced in 3 rate hikes. I think it's March, May, and then I forget what else. I wasn't looking too far after I seen it and got frustrated. I'm like, this is disgusting.
Shit, but
Dang.
How fucking high can we get with these inflation rates? This shit getting out of hand.
And they're not giving out no more stimulus for nobody.
And no more stimmies. The fuck is going on? Shit.
Oh man.
The dollar store is now at the $1.50 store. What the fuck?
Yeah, my daughter was just telling me that. She was like, the dollar store is not even a dollar store no more.
I mean,
she was like, I bought it came to $1. Yeah.
Technically,
and where I live at, they don't have taxes.
Mhm.
but they like raising the price of everything.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So that's why I'm hedging against this bullshit, putting my money into these stable coins for right now and earning my percentages. And even then, I'm just breaking even technically with these fucking rate hikes. If we had like 7% now and I'm earning 10% on my money, I'm really only making 3%. Some bullshit. Now imagine if I was in the bank. Ah, shit. Niggas losing money by having they shit in the bank.
Yeah,
Because you
pretty much.
getting 0.03%. Meanwhile, this is fucking 7% interest rate. Bruh, you're losing
And
money.
credit card interest rates is like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, let's not even talk about that. I think shit, what highest I've seen somebody talking about like 30% on their credit card.
37.
Why?
37%.
Why the fuck would I even do that? Like, I could, damn, 37% I gotta pay you back to borrow some money. Like, I'd rather find a way to, make that money elsewhere. Cause damn, you giving back 37%. That's crazy.
They
But
wildin'.
either way, I'm gonna end this call right here. I gotta go eat. I ain't even eat yesterday.
Word,
But
I'm
Thank you, Zay.
yeah, no problem. I ain't been on the charts
And what's your
forever.
name? I didn't get your name.
Tyreek.
Reek?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, she got it.
Got you.
I thought it was wreck. Freak wreck.
That doesn't make any sense to be freak wreck.
Bruh, that's what it says on your name. Reek
It's a
is
long-
spelled with 2 E. Don't give me that long E shit. I didn't do hooked on phonics, all right?
It says freak Reek.
All right, whatever.
That's what it
I'm gonna holla at y'all.
I'm out.
All right.
Yeah, have a good one. Peace.